y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. And then we also have this wraithax.eth domain name. We've got a couple of things to go over here. So we'll start with Hulk. This is one of the top 10 superheroes of all time. Everyone loves him. There's going to be multiple of him. There's going to be, we have this one, which is the animated with sound. That's the common. 4,444, which really means 4,354. And, you know, you have some fudders be like, oh, too expensive, too many mints. This isn't really utility. Because the utility you get with this is that there's going to be 4 available Hulks. There's going to be this one. We're not sure what other types of Hulk. It could be Worldbreaker Hulk. It could be Red Hulk. It could be Maestro Hulk. Whatever you want to, you know, those are 3 that I'm hoping for. I guess you could have Gray Hulk. You could have. There's so many different types. And when you go and you take a look at that, okay, this is the common. Most likely we'll get an uncommon at 3,333. Most likely we'll get a rare at 2,222, an ultra rare at 1,111, and then the secret rare is going to be airdropped. And again, this is most likely. I'm not saying that I know exactly what's going down. But if we get all of them, then we get that secret rare airdrop to us, which I think is pretty cool. Are they going to do it where we have Hulk, you know, like 1 Hulk a week or 1 Hulk a quarter? I think it'd be really cool if we got 1 Hulk per quarter. Hey, the end of this quarter, this is 1 Hulk. The end of quarter 2 is another Hulk. In basic training, a lot of people try to count the weeks by going Sunday to Sunday, because on Sunday they allow you to have grilled cheese sandwiches. They make those on Sundays. So a lot of people do Sunday to Sunday. Some people do meal to meal. However you get through the day. Some people on VeVe like to go drop to drop. Some people like to go grail to grail. Others like to go quarter to quarter. I think this would be a cool way to do quarter to quarter. And then at the end of the year, it's just something that's been building up. It's kind of like in BoJack Horseman, I think season 3, where Mr. Peanut Butter has a whole bunch of spaghetti strainers. And then all throughout this whole season, they're like, why does he have spaghetti strainers? Why do they keep mentioning the spaghetti strainers? And then later in, like, I think late season 3 or like early season 4, there's 2 boats crash, and one of the boats is a giant pasta thing. So all of this pasta is filling up like the ocean or body of water that they're next to. And it's like, if only somebody had thousands of spaghetti strainers. And here comes Mr. Peanut Butter. It was crazy. It was stupid, but it was freaking hilarious. And we're still talking about it. So, you know, if they had this something that you could, hey, the end of each quarter we have something really fun to look forward to, I'd be 100% on board with that. Speaking of things to look forward to, well, I'll get to the Veveverse in a minute. But you have most other things which have been $60. The Platinum Moments have been $60. The Encanto people have been $60. The Moana people have been $60. Cookie Monster $60. VeVe not only is giving us something that is animated with sound, I think it looks pretty cool, at a fairly low as a common 4,444, but it is only $50 instead of $60. So we get a nice little discount there. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, I think I'll try for one because I think, you know, there'll be less and less as it goes on. And again, these could wind up all being first appearances. This is first appearance of Green Hulk. Then you could have, you know, Maestro Hulk. You could have Red Hulk. There's a lot of other. I mean, Red Hulk. You'd have a bunch of things. So either way, I'm excited for it. Comment down below which Hulk is your favorite that you want. Omi, let's take a look at the bit forex here and see. I think my order filled, so I think I might have gotten a little bit more Omi. I'll let you know right now. We're gonna go to my assets. I'm gonna go to the spot here. I'm gonna go to Omi. Why is this not Omi? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got a little bit more. Currently, if you take a look, you have, it's slightly under 00075. It is at 0007464 is a $4 million buy order right there. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 million Omi buy order right there. There's not a ton of sell orders right now. And even if you did have one that you wanted to get, you're at 0000745. You could spend maybe about $700, $700 something and get almost $1 million. But really, if you wanted to, this can go up fairly easily. There's not a ton that's here. You know, if you want to go in hard, you can't really go in hard. Maybe 10 million. You know, get 10 million Omi, but then you get up to, you know, 0008. which is fine. It's not bad. That being said, let's look at the buy orders. 4 million, then a 1 million, another 4, another 5. All right, so there's 20, 22. Yeah, it's about 22 all the way down to 00071. Again, I don't. 00073 yesterday was I think kind of a really good thing. I was able to get an extra. I didn't. I was in the middle of buying biscuits as Omi, and I had like $100 left in here, so I only was able to get like maybe an extra 100,000 Omi, give or take. But if we get it now, I'm gonna wait for now. I don't have any buy orders set currently. I'll keep y'all posted with that. But yeah, just throwing that out there. Thanks, guys. We have some other things going on. Okay, so this is what they're talking about today, and I'm not 100% sure why they are. Wait, where's the search button? Okay, here it is. We have not heard anything about the Veveverse in quite a long time. Like, I think the last time it was mentioned was DesignerCon when they were showing off the showroom. This is not something I think they're going to take lightly. So granted, it's the third thing in there. If we take a look at this, like we take a look at vitamins, okay, what is the most potent ingredient? It's the first one that's listed, and it gets less potent until the last one. Now, if we go to that, they're covering Master Collector Program, so MCP, which everyone seems to be getting now, so that makes sense that they're covering that, especially first. Crypto Pay-In, which does seem to be that, and then Veveverse. So the bulk of this, like the meat and potatoes, are probably MCP, and then a little bit of Crypto Pay-In, and Veveverse might just be dessert. Might just be that cherry on top. Oh, I said see you there, and people have responded. I was like, I think you're the only positive person left in the community. Listen, if you spend all your time on Twitter, like a bunch of my whales that don't have not that they don't have Twitter, but that they have real lives and they don't spend every waking moment on Twitter. Like they go there every now and then to check what's up. They don't know any of this FUD. And it's not like it's important, like, oh, they're blind to what's going on. It's like most of this is fairly meaningless. And when I give updates, I'll give them the runaround on everything, or not the runaround. I'll give them the down low on everything. So okay, well, here's what people are fudding about. Here's why it's stupid. Here's some points that actually the fudsters should be gone over, whether by VeVe or by another company, or not another company, another entity that says, hey, you should take a look at this. If we want to partner with VeVe, if we want to do whatever. So I think some points are good, some points are just noise. So it says, did you get any sub 44 mints for free by any chance? I guess people are assuming that I work for the company and I get things for free, such as Neil Higgins, who says, did you get any sub 44 mints for free by chance? I do not work for the company outside of the VeVe logo, which hundreds of people got. I've not been given anything for free. I mean, you have the airdrops where, okay, I got all the Wakanda pieces, so I get a Wakanda drop. I got all of the Namor pieces, so I get a Namor drop. That type of deal. But outside of that, nothing for free. We're going to take, he does, oh my god, that's so freaking dumb. Early days, a lot of FUD, yep. Comment down below who you miss in the community. That a lot of people miss Ray Fixie because he used to pump people's bags and used to sweep floors. A lot of people miss Taps because he's Bay. But yeah, what is Veveverse going to be? We were supposed to get it in Q1. I have no doubt that we'll get it in Q2. Now is it going to be April? Probably not. May or June, probably. And once we have that, and maybe we could list Omi as a metaverse token once that's out. Obviously, it'd be listed as a utility token at some point. They would want to actually give it utility beforehand, but to have it as a actual metaverse token would be super bullish in my opinion. Everyone to see all there. So in 20 minutes, I will go to the Discord, or maybe a little bit before then. Let's see what's going on in Spaces right now. I gave my opinion on Amar before. Everyone was talking about it for whatever reason, and I was like, okay, I'll give you guys my 2 cents and kind of what I know. Who do we got here? Surge Cast? I don't know what that is. I don't know what. China versus US. Oh man, what is that? I'm not going to go into it, but end of US dominance. That's silly. No end of US dominance. What is some of these people saying? I don't know who they are. Okay, we're going to go over some comments because yeah, we are. Mark Robertson says, let's go. Thanks for streaming, Randy. No problem, Mark Robertson. I got your hearts on the last Spaces I was in. Omar, hi. Margon says, like the video, everybody. Share the love for Randy. Share it. Share it. Carlos Castrone, give me those red balloons. Howdy, howdy. Michael James says, never catch you live. I usually never go live this early. Usually there's not a reason to, but obviously we have the, what's that called? We have the Discord live thing. And I had a couple people message me that, don't really use Discord. Like, hey, you going live for it? I was like, yeah, I'll go live. Like, okay, good. I don't want to mess with Discord. I was like, okay, cool. Speaking of which, I have to go and tell my, I don't know why, hit the bell for notifications, because if you're new, and let's say you don't have Discord, and if you're new, I cover pretty much everything and go live. I feel like The Watcher. I go live for all the significant events. A lot of the times I'll go live for drops as well. And then I'll just cover the news every day. So let me go to my videos. Nope, I'm gonna go to my channel. Let it go, videos. And oh god, excuse me. I'm gonna ask everyone to smash that like button. Oh god, where are we at here? There we go. Free way to help support the channel. Also, no spoilers for Mandalorian, please. I have not. I've watched like half the episode. I have not. Yeah, I've watched like half the episode. I haven't watched the other half yet. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna get a message to people in case y'all don't wanna go into Discord, and then I will paste my link there, and hopefully other people watch. Moving on. Sagittarius says, hey everyone. Hi Sagittarius. Sendon Jin says, I'm in. Let's go. Wes, give me that surprise face. What's going on, Wes? We got Jeannie Greens. Howdy. Hope you're doing well. Sagittarius says, let's go. Howdy, Sagittarius. Jeannie Jean says, meow, meow. We love you. Meow, meow. I love you guys too. Meow. Pixel Trader says, ayo, VeVe fam. Ayo, what up? Jeannie Green says, when exchanges? We'll get one by the end of the year. Q3, maybe. I would say that. I mean, this next quarter is really soon. It's in a couple days. April, May, June. I would say Q3 would probably be a better. I wouldn't expect one this next quarter. I would expect they would want a little bit of utility. Maybe OMI to Gem. If they get OMI to Gem, then I would expect an exchange. But I mean, also you don't do an interview with Binance and then and not have been talking to Binance. So I could imagine that Binance might be one of the places that we get. I mean, there's no interview with Coinbase NFT. There's no interview with any of the other exchanges. I would say Binance is probably going to be. That makes the most sense, because again, why would you give one to Binance and not to Coinbase NFT, unless if and maybe we only get one exchange. Maybe it's just Binance, and maybe use that as a bargaining chip. We're already on Binance, we don't need you, and then have other companies lower their fee, or other companies go on just renegade list. Could be something like that. David Tremont says, what up, Randy? I got a mini poster. Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, that's what I was supposed to go over. I'm supposed to go over a lot of the so sub 40 or sub 41 collectibles, such as the posters. I don't know exactly how we got into that. They had gone on. Actually, they had addressed this issue. Let's take a look at my Twitter, because I was first to report it on Twitter. I would like to pat myself on the back for that. Okay, here we go. Update everyone, 4:30 we got. Okay, yep. No, this described common. Okay. Alex G says, we temporarily pausing potion uncapping poster redemption to address some mechanical issues. We hope to have this back up as soon as possible, so thank you in advance for your patience. We are aware that some 41 poster mints were redeemed, and will aim to update the blog article with the correct information once settled. We're currently experiencing a server-side issue that's causing a visual bug affecting profile pics in market listings. Pics on profile pages are still intact. So the amount of FUD that I saw this morning saying like, oh, VeVe purposely made it so that everyone's profile pictures were blank, so we can't tell how heavily botted this was. I seriously doubt that is the reason for that. Now, could it be? And this whole thing that that Reverend Alex G is going and saying like, oh yeah, it's just a bug, and he's like scapegoat. Maybe, but I mean, a lot of things are botted. Why would we expect this not to be botted? Like changing the profile pictures doesn't really, it doesn't really help or not help. Oh yeah. Also, some people are complaining that one of the people that happened to get a sub 40 or sub 41 mint happened to be a moderator. First off, be advised, guys, those moderators are doing the Lord's work. They do a whole bunch of different tasks and they solve issues and they de-escalate situations and they don't really get paid. And they should give them collectibles. Did they give this mod a collectible for like the job they're doing? No. It just happened to be an issue, like Reverend Alex G said, and that issue just happened to be. I'm glad that it happened to a mod because it makes it easier for VeVe to go and say, "Oh, hey, our bad. Can we just give it back?" And it's fine. It's a lot easier to do that with someone that you know and you have a working relationship with than some random person that's like, "Oh, now they're taking my collectible and now I feel robbed." It's like, now my mental health is going down. Anyway, one of the ones in question was the number 26, which had gotten. The number 26 was that was redeemed, and then there was a number 18 as well, which I thought was really dope. And again, I wish they would have done something like this, where they would say, "Hey, surprise! Some people are getting sub 41 minutes." That would be dope. But obviously, of course, they had mentioned in an article 41 is going to be the first public one that's released, which is okay. I'm chill with that. Oh God, my shoulder. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Moving on. Smarty Pants says, "Was Gucci? Yo, was Gucci Smarty Pants? Hope you doing well." Oh yeah, the mini and pit. All right, so the potions are still like 186, and the posters are like 230. I think that's fine. So if you really wanted to buy a potion, redeem it, sell it for 220, and net the difference, you make like 18 gems. If that's really what you want to do. I think it is going to come. I think it's going to be where at the end of the day, in short to mid term, no one's really going to care about the potions. But I think long term, people are going to be like, "Oh, you still have a potion from back in the You still have a potion from back in the day." I don't think that's going to be people within the next couple months being like, "Oh, you still got that potion? Cool." I think that's going to take a while for that investment to mature, and people are like, "Oh, you still remember that?" It's got to go through a few cycles or a few seasons for it to become vintage. And then when it does become vintage, people are like, "Oh, I remember that. I want that." How long is that going to take? I don't know. It could be years. But yeah, I'd grab one. I'd hang on to it. I tried to get one. I failed. I'm not paying $186 for one. These posters are really cool though. Those are really dope. And I don't think 100 of them have been, or at least not 100 for each. There's maybe like a dozen or so for each that are out there. Maybe 2 dozen. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Or at least they're not that have been redeemed, but at least that's people are trying to sell. B-Lit, what's up, fam? What's up? Jeannie Greens, what's up? Sagittarius is Red Hulk. Yeah, Red Hulk is dope AF. I love me some Red Hulk. Omar Exotic says, "Hi, Randy and Dashi." Oh, why, hello, Omar. I hope you're doing mighty fine. Oh, Omar hit the potion today. My man, good for you. Hot Dog Cart People says, "Randy, we love you." And hot dogs. Great day today. Yes, great day, hot dog people. Gotta love it. Michael James says, "I hit number 18 Dumbo poster, went super fast after drop and did it. What do you think it's worth?" Wait, like it's actually mint number 18? Says, "VeVe, I locked my account, so I think it's a mess." But yeah. How much would that have been worth? Somewhere in the 4 figures, somewhere over 1,000. But again, because the account was locked, they're just probably going to ask for it back. They'll probably go and say, "Here's the gems," or they'll uncap the potion, whatever it is, and then you can do it again. Lady friend said, "Oh, hey, no gym today." Same. Not really. I did cardio this morning, did some abs, then did some legs and biceps. I did good, but my diet, I literally had 2 cheat days or 2 cheat meals. They were only 2 meals. Granted, one meal was super big. And I put on all the weight that I had lost. So I was like, at this point, I'm just going to work out as hard as I can, and my diet will be relatively whatever I want to eat. So yeah. I'm gonna mess up by them. Smart Buy says, "At Michael James, you got rugged by getting special mint." I wouldn't exactly say he got rugged. It's just something that a mistake was made, and yeah, they'll correct it though. Dex P. Ryan says, "Hulk smashing that like button, smash it, smash it." Michael James says, "How?" I think Smart Buy was just trolling. Kurazami says, "What up, fam? What up, Kurazami? Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for 100 of y'all being here." Spyby says, "What's your account? I doubt they're going to let you keep that. As mentioned, lowest mint was 41. Yeah, again, not rugged. It was just he happened to get a mistake, and they'll make it right. Dutch Homie says, "Hey fam, yo, what up, Dutch Homie? Victor Series says, wow. James says, oh, they let me keep. No, they're not going to let you keep. Think legally hard to take back. No. I mean, if you want to try to, again, it was a mistake. They have to, if you really want to try to sue them for it, I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but that it's gonna that's good. It's just gonna suck for the time that you're trying to sue them for that. Hello K Crypto says, I don't think they should take away the sub 41 mints from people. In real life, companies don't come up and take away your collectibles with misprints or issues. That's a fair point. I think this actually does have to be with it might have been a legal thing for Disney, because you know how Disney says, oh, hey, I'm not going to, we have to, the only way we give out utility is if we announce it beforehand. When an article comes out, as approved by Disney, that says the earliest public mint is going to be number 41, it's kind of the same thing. They would have to, I think it's a thing for them. And again, what do you have? Is someone like, what's the name of there, going to try to slap a lawsuit with VeVe? They try to slap a lawsuit with Disney. Again, I think a lot of things can be rectified in a fairly non-escalating manner, and should be done fairly quickly, and maybe they give you an extra something for it. I don't know. Dutch Homie says, hope you can keep it. Michael James. General Evans says, hi, Randy. Have a blessing and a curse. I own a 55-mile secret rare. Sometimes I wish it was a 100+ mint, because I would have sold it at 15K, then bought back in now, but I can't part with 55 so easy. Yeah, the blessing and the curse is, I mean, it's not just a sub 100. It's one of those double-digit mints with a repeating digit. That's, yeah. I mean, those in general are special, just because they happen to have it's a very low mint number, and the animation is great. It looks dope AF. What do you do with a sub 100 mint? And then that's 55, just a repeating one. That adds another layer of specialty. I don't know what you do with it. I mean, I would, well, it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, I'd hodl because it's gonna be worth a lot in years, which it will be. What do you do with those funds? I mean, you got like a day or so before cash out is paused, and I don't know how long that's going to be paused for. Let's say you got like a day or so to do that. If you wanted to take that out and buy OMI, I think OMI will have a much higher ROI in my opinion, but again, just my opinion. Michael James says, so I was thinking as well. I mean, if you want, that's all you. Wouldn't recommend it. Sven Dunn says, okay, Randy, is it a good idea to go for the sub 100 potions? Probably not short. Probably not. I don't know if you have a potion that's number 87, do you get number 87 of whatever you go and uncap it for? I don't know if there's any correlation with that. I think they might have gone over that in Discord before. Lori Brenner says, Queen VeVe in the house to watch. Let's freaking go. I love this game. Lori Brenner, so good to see you. So good to have you here. I heart you. My friendo person, I was going to say babe, then it sounded a little wrong. Yeah, sub 100 potions. Yeah, comment down below if you know that issue with the sub 100 things. General Evans says, what would you sell for? Thanks. Not financial advice. I mean, what is Miles like? Not like 9K? Do you have data of any other? I don't have I don't have in front of me. I would say, I mean, it probably won't go for 20. List it for 20. Then if it doesn't sell in like a week, list for 15. It really depends on what you want to do. Is what you want to do with the money time sensitive. If it's time sensitive and you think that, hey, this probably could sell for 15K, however much money, if it was if I left it out there for 2 weeks and did an auction and I, advertised it, and you think it could sell for 20K. But you think that, okay, I really need to sell this now and I could sell it now for 14K. It's like, well, I could have made that extra $6,000. It could have, but again, what's the opportunity cost of that? I need to know all the variables, so I just don't have them. But that is a very good question. KJM Jam says, is the potion needed to keep for you to have the whole set? I don't know. I think it's just the the posters, but I don't think, yeah, they weren't clear on a couple things with this, at least not in the Medium articles. They might have said in like a Discord space or a Twitter space or whatever, but I don't think they've said that if the potions, if you have number 87 potion, you get number 87 mint. It doesn't say that if you have 5 Dumbo pieces, can you use a potion 5 times? I know they said you could use, if you have 4 pieces, you could obviously use a potion 4 times because you have Mickey, Donald, all that. You'd probably use it 5 times if you have 5 posters. You could match it, or if you have 5 collectibles, you could match them. But is the potion needed to have the whole set? I'm not sure. I don't think they were clear on that either. Hot dog car people says, will the poster become more valuable than the potion? Yeah, the posters are already more valuable than the potion. It wouldn't make much sense to buy the potion if you, like, let's say if you buy it for $200 and the posters are $180. Like, it doesn't really make much sense to do that. You would just not do it or keep the potion. I will say though that I have 2 views on this. One view is take the Thor Love and Thunder poster, which has 534 copies. Now, those 534 copies, it originally was minted at, I think, 1,090 copies, but only 534 were minted. Those are $200. Now, with that being said, and I don't know how many people know this, a friend of mine, a whale friend of mine, and his brother-in-law, they have 40 to 45% of that supply of the 539. They have like 250. Now, if you go and you take something a little bit more scarcer, like the Black Panther Wakanda Forever poster, there's only 101 of those that have been redeemed, and those are hundreds of dollars. I think I bought one for like 500, sold it for like 11 or 1200, give or take. They might be like 800 or 900 now, but they're super scarce. And then you have the Uncanny X-Men, which again nobody really knew about because it wasn't a drop on VeVe. You had to go to a Marvel event and you had to be a Marvel unlimited subscriber that you pay for that in order to get that code. Out of the 1,850 that were minted and available, only like 168 of those codes were redeemed. And this isn't like this great comic that's worth like $30,000 in a 9.8. This is the first appearance of Sunfire. Nobody knows who they are. I don't know who Sunfire is. And it's a $2,000 comic in a 9.6. So it's not a great one, but people are still going and they're spending like, I think $500 for, there's been multiple sales at like $600 and $700 and then a couple at $5. I don't know how low it is right now. But again, that's a comic that nobody really knows or cares about. People are still spending hundreds of dollars. So what about a poster that's not only part of these, the Fab Five, unless you're Dumbo, the other 3 are part of the Fab Five, and then is part of a 100-year anniversary? This is actually probably one of my favorite sets on VeVe because of the historical significance it has, the layers it has, with the meanings that it has. There's like multiple different layers. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite sets. And be advised, I don't have any of them. I don't have any poster. I don't have a potion. I don't even have the collectibles. I think Mini's the most undervalued, but that's just my opinion. Super chat coming in from My Collectibles saying, thanks for streaming. There's no problem, My Collectibles. I hope you're doing well. You are my fire, the one desire. Something about Backstreet Boys, and I want it that way. Gaten Zane says, I think there's something with the potion. It has a key to it. Must be something. Well, okay, so here's my other thought on that. This is the first of maybe 5 or 6 sets of the Platinum Moments. They haven't specifically said how many there were. VeVe Magic had done a thing where she goes over a couple of photos of the. There's 24, I think, of these particular pins that have the ones that we have, and then ones that we have not yet. They have not yet come to pass. So if you take a look at those, it's like, okay, if there's 24 of them, and we get 4 per set, that we should have 6 sets. And then we should also have 2 that are repeating, like we've seen Donald and we've seen Mickey as statues before. And then there are going to be 2 that are not repeating, 2 that are first appearances. If you have that for each one, you're gonna have potions for each one as well. So I don't know how valuable the potions will be, short to midterm, but I do believe that they will do extraordinarily well longer term. The Discord is starting. So I'm going to go and I'm in this. Okay, go to the VeVe. The VeVe. Where's the VeVe? Okay. There's the VeVe. And then we're going to go to live event stage. Hey-o. Oh, Reese is here.
I haven't had time to record a community update video that we have typically done, but most of the updates I think you're looking for, Mitch can answer, so we're in good hands. Everything said here is just for community update purposes and not financial advice. And that said, I'm Alex from marketing, and I'm joined today by Ecomi Everyman, Reese Skellern, and
okay, they're doing the updates.
Mitch, Mac, how are you, gentlemen?
Doing well.
I'm good.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
How are you, Alex?
It's been well. I'm doing okay. I just getting over a cold, which is a great cherry on top of a Sunday that has been
Sunday.
let's say unappetizing for this.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes,
I'm powering through it. So please forgive me if I do have to take a cough interlude or put myself on mute to sneeze. Don't want to gross anybody out here, but I am sipping on my tea. And we should. All right. Obviously, lots going on this week. This, you really kind of wake up on a Monday morning and you can really go get them this week, right? And then kind of wake up to a bit of a storm of sorts.
Yes.
Obviously, we are well aware of conversation and sentiment in the community, and we do want to touch on that briefly.
All right.
Just to make sure that everybody's aware that they're being heard, and we're working towards resolution on a number of fronts, right? But that said, we do have some pretty good updates today that I think you'll be looking
Let's go, Veveverse.
First of all, as mentioned, David and Dan have been traveling. David, in particular, I believe is in, I don't know, somewhere where it's really too late for him to join today. But he did send me some talking points
Let's go.
that I do want to read for you here just to start and kind of get things out of the way, because I know there's a lot of people across all of our posts, whether it be drop related or update related, asking the same question. So I'm just going to read this statement, and then we can move on to the meat of the community update today. All right. Imagine David speaking here.
I was going to say, is this going to be a Kiwi accent that you put on?
I will not do any accents, for my own sanity, just to keep employed.
Please don't, you might get cancelled.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Hey there, VeVe fam. Sorry it's been a while since we've spoken. Dan and I have been living out of suitcases as we've been traveling all over the world to promote the platform and work to bring new licensors, partners, and collectibles to the platform. Despite the busy schedule, I wanted to address a concern I've seen voiced in our social spaces. Recently, one of our VeVe collectors contacted us directly to inquire about the potential of acquiring a large number of comics and collectibles, including some of the held quantities. It's common knowledge for our users that of the digital collectibles and comics we license, create, and produce, a certain number of editions are held back and retained by our company. Different elements impact that total number held, to include licensor and contractual obligations and our own promotional and archival needs, as the company that creates and distributes these products. This was an unprecedented event, but we determined the fair cost for such a sale, and the transaction plus trade was completed off app because it included some withheld editions and the amount was too large to be done by loading the needed gems via bank or credit card. Ultimately, here at VeVe, we are in the business of connecting global collectors with the collectibles and comics they know and love. But we understand by user feedback that perhaps this transaction was made in haste. As such, we are working to establish a more transparent and intuitive way to broker sales of this nature moving forward. All of this being said, we hear your frustration and we understand your confusion. I come from a physical collectible sales background where these large-scale sales are something that I'm very familiar with, and I didn't realize the backlash a direct-to-consumer sale would incite. The communication could have been better, and we will take this as a learning opportunity for the future. As always, here at VeVe, our collectors are the heart of the decisions we make. We will continue to evolve, improve, and change the way the world collects globally. Big things are coming for VeVe, and we are excited to continue sharing our vision for digital collecting in the future with all of you. Okay.
Thanks,
So
Vegas.
that's straight from the man himself, David Yu. Nothing really more needs to be said on that subject, other than, yes, communication could have been better, needs to be better moving forward.
Okay.
That was a deal brokered by the man himself, who was used to doing things like that, and I've seen him do things like that in the physical realm. And where he goes in and he buys out an entire store of inventory, essentially. And I think it was just probably exciting for him. And that's basically where that's.
I think that's fair. They addressed
I will
it.
continue to press.
I'm going to be communicative going forward. I'm fine with
it. Anytime I get wind of those types of things, when I get wind of those types of things happening, but know that we are looking towards moving forward in a positive manner here. Okay.
Absolutely. Just one quick note there, because there seems to be some confusion. People are under the impression some of these collectibles were sub 40 mints.
Oh, right.
So just in case, just want to make that very known that there was no sub 40 mints. Nothing has changed on that front.
Right. No sub 40 mints. Though I do believe, I think there were some non-public comic mints.
Yes,
or at least previously available comic mints. There were no sub 40 collectible mints. So, anybody asking to buy like the number 2 Todd, like that's not, those deals aren't ever going to be entertained.
Oh, Alex, don't say ever.
So, moving on. All right, so we had a bit of a platinum moments situation this morning, but happy to report that immediately before this, we have resolved the redemption mechanism.
Oh, very good.
And just to quickly explain, obviously there was an issue with the mechanism itself, in that we noticed a couple of sub 40s were redeemed of the posters. It's obviously a mistake. We didn't intend for that to happen. So what we have done is we fixed the glitch, and we now have re-enabled the poster redemptions via the magical transformational potion. So that let me answer a few questions, ongoing questions that we have had about how that all is shaking out, that mechanism. There is the mint numbers of the posters are all 1923, right? So you have 4 weeks to redeem those posters with the potion based on the corresponding Platinum Moments collectible. And unredeemed posters will be burnt. The mint numbers do not match the posters or the collectible number, in that there's only 1923, so they couldn't possibly match, right? So I think that pretty much goes for that. Any other questions you have or concerns that you need me to bring up on this front, Mitch?
I thought he was asking the audience.
No, not particularly. I think, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Like, this was probably my bad in terms of the small glitch there. I kind of missed the requirement slightly on that front. But, we are trying to do the best that we can and ensure that the rollout is of high quality. And in this case, we just kind of made a mistake on that front. So apologies for that, guys.
Okay, well, thank you, Mitch. I appreciate that. But I also maybe don't try to keep me so on my toes on the early Wednesday morning.
Oh, I mean, like I was asleep.
Yeah.
My phone started going off, and I'm like, something's not right. So we jumped on it as soon as we can, as soon as we could.
Definitely. I appreciate the quick action. Just one more thing of note. I know there were questions about where you can follow to see how many of the posters would be redeemed. I've talked internally with the team that I will be providing, or we will be providing regular updates on Twitter as kind of an update on how many of each of the poster editions have been redeemed. Just so you can make a more informed decision as it gets closer to uncapping deadline. Right? Okay. All right. Well, that kind of walks through this morning's glitches. Oh, just sorry. One other thing. There was a server-side error on rendering profile photos in the market listings for certain profiles. But if you click through, you can still see the photo. That was just purely a server-side error. I know I don't typically like to address conspiracy theory series, but there was quite the narrative floating out there. And let's just maybe not get ahead of ourselves when certain things like that happen. When there was a glitch overall with the drop, I think that was just a byproduct. So that issue has been resolved, and you should be able to see profile photos in the market listings once again. So
Cool.
Appreciate your patience on that. Okay, let's get to the good stuff, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
My
All
body,
right. Well, this is exciting, given that this is one time I'm excited that Dan's not here and that I can share good news for him. I always like to get a little bit of the spotlight here every once and again.
Come on, let's go.
Let's talk a little bit about Veveverse.
Let's go.
All right. So, as you may have noticed, we're coming to the end of Q2. And
Q1.
We had stated in November at DCOM that we will be rolling out the first phase of beta at the end of Q2.
You said Q1.
We are on track now to do this by mid-April, which isn't too far behind the original quote. As you know, these are never deadlines or promises, or more, as to quote Reese, guidelines.
Let's say May or June. We'll say Q2
of when we are aiming for this.
Not going to hold them to April.
The initial beta group has been identified. Invites will be sent via email to this initial group by mid-April, and subsequent groups will be invited as we monitor progress and iron out any potential bugs or issues. We are aiming to for all to access the Veveverse to be extended across Q2. So just as a reminder, this is a massive project. We're very excited about it. There's a lot of moving parts on this, and will require a fair amount of testing time, so we appreciate your patience. But know that from what we've seen and looking at everything so far, we continue to make great strides, not only here, but across all of our roadmap as it pertains to the Veveverse. So once again, initial beta group identified, invites sent in the coming weeks, mid-April. And then we'll start to kind of systematically roll it out to more and more people. And hopefully we will have access extended to users across Q2. Okay? Mitch.
Can I just add a couple more things in here?
Yeah.
So just to give you guys an idea, we were trying for the end of Q1. But as we started to get closer to the deadline, it became quite clear that, we just have a few more additional things that we needed to get done and get done properly. So, there's about 27,000 collectibles that have already been integrated across the board to the new system as well. So we're slowly trying to extend that nicely and methodically. And overall, we think it's going to be a very interesting next few weeks. When we actually get the initial user group in there and let them play around. As it pertains to access, it's going to be extended in a controlled manner right across Q2. So expect our usual approach to this. We want to make sure that things work. We want to slowly assess what is happening. So as Alex said before, it's really just taking strides and taking one step at a time and just getting it where it needs to be.
Cool.
And quickly, my apologies. I believe I said erroneously said Q2 at the top. I meant we had originally said Q1. Yeah. We are coming up.
How dare you?
Q1. We're extending this it'll dip into Q2 as far as first beta access. So my apologies. Initial beta group mid-April, which is slightly behind end of Q1.
And just maybe a quick reminder there that there is an article on the VeVe blog about how we roll these features out and these integrations in terms of batching users and beta testing. So please be reminded that on that note, if we do discover bugs or some sort of issue, we will pause the rollout until they are resolved, and then we'll resume again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the feature rollout process article that we share often when we have new updates to share. And I believe we do have another update to share hopefully soon, but let's
don't say soon.
Let's get into that actually. Product updates with Mitch. Before we get into all of your things, Mitch, I just want to remind people that the deadline is approaching to apply for merge accounts. We've had successful use cases, and we've been trying to help people through that have had problems doing the actual merge via the support tickets, but all has been going well to date thus far, and we look forward to continuing to getting everybody who needs to merge their accounts into one. Please check the article on the blog. The form must be submitted within the blog article. There's a form linked that you must submit before 30th of April. And that's essentially 31 days from now. Okay. Let's move into updates on Master Collector Program.
All right, cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. So before I go into MCP, I just want to talk about the beta process overall first, right? So it's everyone kind of understands right now, we're in beta for MCP. We have been in beta for the last couple of weeks. We're sitting close to around 20,000 people now on MCP itself on the beta. We are aware of the various shenanigans that are happening with the calculations and all the funky stuff that everyone's been posting. So thank you very, very much for that. It's been a massive help for us to be able to kind of figure out like what's been happening and why. So I just wanted to preface that right from the get-go, because I think everyone needs to kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with in the background. You know, the databases are quite large. They are retrospective in nature. So there's 2 years worth of data for us to kind of churn through and work ourselves through it. And it's not always going to be 100% on the dot, because I know quite a few of you have little spreadsheets on the side that have been calculating your own points. For us, it's really about making sure that we get as close an accuracy rate as possible. So there's 2 fronts there. One is your total MCP points, and the second one is your daily accumulation points that we're working on right now. So despite the shenanigans on the machine front and on the accuracy front, what we are going to try and do is we're going to try and get a little bit more aggressive with this in the coming weeks.
Aggressive.
And we are probably going to start getting more people involved and extending that beyond the 20,000 test groups, because our intention is to actually get it in the hands of the VeVe fam itself and have those points start rolling through, because our battles with the machines and the various things that are happening within the machines will always be ongoing. And what you can expect with the calculations is that, you know, it does take time to calibrate once you've been given access. That's the first thing. So expect it to be kind of always rolling through. But while we are kind of extending it out to everyone, we will also be making ongoing adjustments and tweaks to the entire program right across the user base, but also well beyond what this beta program might look like, right? So it will be ongoing, just like our battle with anything else that is consistently evolving. Our MCP program is going to be, we're going to get a little bit more aggressive with it, and we're going to start getting it in the hands of users, but expect that we will be making tweaks across. So if you notice changes coming through your daily active points, if you've noticed adjustments coming through your total points and you feel that it's not correct, what we will do is we'll also set up a little bit of a process for you to report these things coming through in the coming weeks, so that we can at least have a running record of what is accurate and what is not.
Great. Okay, so that said, there have been some updates to, there will be some updates to the article. Reese, do you want to speak a little bit on this? Oh, and just by the way, I want to say shout out to everybody who's here. I just noticed there's 679 people in the audience, which is great.
And 147 people here.
In fact, if you stick around to the end, we will have, we'll throw up a giveaway bot in the live event chat.
Ooh.
And we'll give you a chance to win one of 5 prizes, and I'll let you know what that prize is later on in the show. But
Nice.
Before then, Reese, can you talk to us a little bit about how we're updating the article and to reflect, some of the charts in terms of levels and ranks, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably more a request that we got after we released the OUP as a notes portal, because it makes it quite easy to navigate. a lot of that information. So at the moment, the current MCP article is live on the VeVe blog. However, we are bringing obviously the MCP and the OUP together into one holistic loyalty program. And we've broken that all down into its own Notion portal as well that we will release in the next few days, I would think. So that has all the information that you already have in the MCP, and you'll be able to see how both systems are now going to work together to create this loyalty program and which features come together. Now, I will preface that by saying I've written this to be much more simple than the OUP. And I know a lot of the feedback we received after that was that it was quite complicated, and I don't know how many people actually made it through the whole thing and connected all the dots. So this is definitely written more in a more simple nature. And then you can obviously go and reference the OUP and those documents if you want to dive further into the details. But this should make it a bit easier to understand there. The second thing I have seen a fair bit since we started rolling out the MCP is just a general question or confusion about how many ranks and how many levels there are. So there is 100 levels total. We have 22 ranks, and you've probably seen maybe a good mix of them out there. So everybody begins at the starter rank. And then we basically have, I guess, 5 classes. So bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. And within each of those, there's bronze 1, 2, 3, 4, silver 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to diamond. And then obviously the highest rank is Master Collector there. So I think they were probably the 2 main points that people had brought up. But really looking forward to releasing this and collecting everybody's feedback and making sure that we're crafting a loyalty program that is fun, first and foremost, and effective, and frankly incentivizes people to continue enjoying the collectibles experience. Did you want to add anything there, Mitch, before we?
No, that's absolutely accurate. Yeah. No, sorry, we're just a bit slow on the documentation. It's not Reese's fault. It's probably mine as well, because we've been kind of busy just fighting with machines in the background. So we'll try and get this out to you as quickly as possible so that it's public and everyone can kind of read it and understand what's going on.
Yep, and then we'll come back together and talk about it and make sure that it's clear. As I said, this should be much easier to understand than the OMI utility program documentation. But please let me know if it's not, and I'll continue to update it until it is.
Mitch, do you want to touch on maybe just 1 or 2 of the key updates to the Master Collector program ahead of the article, just so we can make sure that it's clear?
Yeah, absolutely. So Reese, I'll bounce. We'll bounce back and forth on this one, right? Because it's actually a joint effort overall.
Joint effort.
So very early on, when I came into VeVe, I looked at both the MCP and the OUP program, and I liked, as much as I loved both of them, I did feel that they were quite disparate, and they were kind of separate programs for MCP versus OUP. So what we've done over the last few weeks was we've put in quite a bit of effort into kind of looking at these 2 programs as a whole, and looking at how they could be brought together to achieve a degree of synergy, right, between the OMI program and the Master Collector program. So what we're going to do from here on out is when that article is released, we will probably be, what you will find is that we have articulated a pathway that combines MCP and OUP together to create what we would call just a loyalty program. If we had a meme for this, we would use a fusion type meme, but I'm not going to say which fusion type meme we're going to use, because I've done that once on Twitter and it's I've been warned that it could set different precedents for people. It didn't end well. So basically, we're trying to fuse the 2 together, right? Fundamentally, because we believe that all collectors should be rewarded right across the board, and it really shouldn't matter whether you're more OMI inclined or you're actually just more interested in collecting the collectibles overall. So bringing the 2 programs together. And having kind of worked this over the last, 9 to 12 weeks, Reese, I don't know how long we've been working on this in the background. Yeah, I think we've got a really good synergy between the OMI program as well as the MCP program. And the document should outline what we're thinking about and how the 2 will interplay over the coming quarters.
Yep, I think that's a pretty good summary. And as you said, it really brings together, those who love to collect, those who use OMI, those who use both, and really just adds a few new layers to the collecting experience. Gives people a lot of chance for new strategies, I would say, in terms of making their way up the ranks to become a master collector, and that in turn will grant access to some pretty fun benefits, I suppose we call them.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because as these two programs come together, the benefits that we are planning to roll out over the coming quarters will benefit all collectors across the board, and it will rely on a little bit of a fun aspect between your rank, your level, and where you sit inside of the ranking tables to access certain benefits and stuff like that. So it should be quite fun as we progress through.
Yeah, exactly right. And really, it gives you a whole range of ways to earn points, basically earn master collector points. And just on that note, we're referring to this as the loyalty program, but within the application, it will be the master collector program. Right? We'll maintain that moniker moving forward.
I'm happy with it. Comment down below how you feel.
The program will be a merge of the two. Essentially, we'll be keeping MCP in place.
Perfect. Okay, that's probably all we want to share on that just for now until we release this information, and then we can reconvene next week or sometime in the near future and discuss.
Next week.
Okay, let's keep things moving on
Alex, speak up.
Beta update, and also speaking of pay methods, an update on the wire situation. Mitch, can you take this one, please?
Yeah, sure. So we just got off the phone just before this call with Wire Overall. They have confirmed that we will be pausing temporarily from 11:59 p.m. The 29th of March, 2013 Pacific time. So this will be, it's an unfortunate development on this front here. But Wire have confirmed overall that the integration with new banking providers is underway. And we will keep everyone updated as to what's happening on that front. Now, however, while that is the case with Wire, we will be pushing ahead and doubling our efforts on providing alternative options for payouts from an integration standpoint as quickly as we can. And we will also provide updates on that as we develop. So in the future, there will very likely be options for users to decide how or which vendor they would want to use to initiate payouts overall.
Okay, great. So to reiterate, 11:59 p.m. on March 29th Pacific time. So that's like tonight. Okay.
Correct.
Temporary pause, and we'll keep everybody updated on when that will be up and running again. All right, so crypto paying, then I know you're continuing to move ahead on that. Do we have just any minor events or minor?
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. With the situation, crypto payments is actually ready. We've already it's already been rolled out to a 20,000 critical mass audience base.
Oh, I thought you said crypto payout.
And we've seen
my bad.
Some really good results coming from it. I have chosen to withhold the release to the general population at the moment, only because of the developing situation with Wire at this stage. So once we have a little bit more clarity on the Wire front and we're a bit more confident that things are going okay, it will probably be opened up to specific to users across specific countries. To start off with, to make sure that we're kind of keeping things in as controlled as possible.
Good stuff.
Before it goes into the ether and into the general
good stuff
space.
And what about payout transactions made before the deadline tonight? Those will continue to be processed.
They will continue to be processed, correct.
All right, let's move on then.
If you have something you want to sell.
Thing that I saw come across my desk, which I think will be very exciting for people in terms of what's next in the development pipeline, and that is Waitlist. Can you give us an update on Waitlist?
Ooh.
Yes, I can. Let me see where I'm at with my notes. Okay, so quick update is that we are just prepping the next release, iteration 244. It was submitted to the Apple stores today, and it's just sitting on the approval queues on the apps. And when those come through, we will release it across the apps, both stores, Google and Android and iOS, and on web as well. And that release contains Waitlist in terms of the capability. Okay, so technically we have tried to keep it inside Q1. It is still the 29th of March from various parts of the world at the moment. So the waitlist capability-wise is included in the next release. However, where we will use the waitlist is being worked through right now as its first kind of introduction to the community itself. So this functional capability is in place and will be in place in the next update. So once you do get the updates, please update the apps. Please update your apps so that you can receive the benefits of the feature itself. And when we will use the waitlist is still being worked through at the moment, but it will be probably starting with more controlled drops to start off with before it becomes more widespread in its use case.
Waitlist confirmed.
And just
Be some kind of wholly owned IP, i.e. a VeVe logo or something like that, right?
I can't confirm or deny that at the moment. We're still working through that right now.
All right.
and just quickly on the waitlist, users will be able to participate regardless of whether they're on mobile or web. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ooh.
Perfect. And do you want to
Cross-platform.
Yeah, cross-platform. Cool.
Do we want to talk
The other thing to add, one second, Alex, just as the other things to add on the waitlist are that this is, sorry to say, V1 of waitlist, where we are still kind of really only going to be restricting access to the waitlist for KYC users specifically, to ensure that there is a good control over some of the more kind of pressing pain points for the community right now, which is around things like botting and all that type of stuff.
Mhm.
But V2 actually brings not a physical or a aesthetic enhancement. Sorry, someone's at the door and my dog's going crazy, so apologies if you're hearing the dog bark. As I was saying before, V1 of waitlist is out. It's going to be restricted to KYC users, but we intend to actually roll out an enhancement to the waitlist before it actually gets used widespread across the business and across all drops, right? And V2 will really kind of contain more backend and logic-based enhancements to the waitlist, where we fully intend to kind of weight drops and priorities to KYC users specifically. Right from the get-go. So these are little snippets and nuggets of information that I'm really happy to release because we have heard you. We are watching how other partners, or not partners, how other businesses that are similar to ours are conducting waitlists, and we are making sure that we're putting in as many mechanisms as possible to address a lot of your concerns, particularly as we start to kind of loosen up the KYC processes across the app in the coming months as well. So we're kind of aligning that and trying to make that happen in tandem so that we open up the app to new users, have them access the application and explore the app easily to find content that they like, but at the same time kind of securing the concerns or addressing the concerns of how a waitlist might be exploited.
Got it. And do you want to take any time to walk through the mechanic, like how it actually works? Like, opens up X amount of time before the drop, you get in or anything like that? Has that all been fully mapped out yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard waitlist process, right? the waitlist 30 minutes, an hour, depending on what we've set in the background. People join the waitlist as a single entry. They have X amount of time to exit the waitlist, and then the waitlist closes. Exit or enter the waitlist. The waitlist closes about 5 minutes just before the drop, and then when the drop time happens, waitlist goes through a random selection of the users that are on waitlist, and it assigns you a collectible, and subsequently you have a further 5 minutes, I think, to make a purchase. Otherwise, it gets reverted back to the pool. Anything unsold will just be, available in the store from then on.
Cool. All Okay, let's keep it moving then.
Keep it
Thank you
moving.
very much for those updates. I know that a lot of people have been asking for both updates on MCP and Waitlist. Good to hear about crypto paying as well. Let's talk about some of the Q2 objectives.
Absolutely. No, I think what we want to start to do is communicate in objectives with the community moving forward. Learning from previous events, I think it's best to stay away from both, for all parties concerned, on finite deadlines. So what we will try and do is communicate what we are going to be focused on in Q2 of 2023, right? So there are 3 key objectives that we're looking to be focused on from a roadmap point of view. One is we want to bring cross-platform consistency in experiences. So as all of you will probably be quite aware, there are quite a few inconsistencies between the various experiences on web versus on app, etc., etc. So what we're going to try and do is embark on a little bit of a cleanup program to ensure that we bring the app from where it is today into the 2023 web-based standards at the very least, from an experience standpoint, and you will have a consistency of functionality, features, and design really across all platforms to start off with. So that's one of our big objectives. So that's getting cross-platform consistency across all platforms. The second objective that we will be kind of focused on in Q2 is actually OMI to NFT. So a lot of people have been asking about OMI. A lot of people have been wondering what's happening with OMI, et cetera. It is our focus. We do want to bring that utility to the token itself, to the application. There are, however, some interesting problems that need to be solved on that front, but this is where it links to our earlier mention about bringing the MCP and OUP program together. So OMI to NFT is really a pathway for any OMI holder to acquire NFTs, starting with the secondary market, on the secondary market, using OMI itself, assuming that the person selling the NFT is willing to kind of allow that to happen as well. So the idea is for us to focus on this as a second objective within Q2 itself, and this links nicely into our MCP program overall, because what we intend to do there is really allow some degree of benefits for users using OMI to purchase NFTs. So example would be on the secondary market, if you have activated an OMI-based transaction, you will probably very likely be rewarded with one-off MCP bonus points. And that will stack to your total point accumulation for the day. And a lot of this, more of this development around how OMI will interface with MCP points and the MCP program overall will continue to be developed. We are still working on quite a few things in the background as well around how you can then leverage OMI-based benefits, and how that will also then link back into your MCP point collection. But the starting point for us, guys, is really OMI to NFT. We have heard you. We have seen the feedback. We really do want to make this a key objective for Q2 in itself. So hopefully that addresses quite a few questions around what we're doing with OMI overall. And this will be the first of several steps that we will take in that direction over the next couple of quarters.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. And I know a lot of people will be happy to hear that is, we haven't forgot about OMI, obviously.
Not at all, no. No, we just had, I think the general sentiment is that we haven't spoken much about OMI because, one, we've been working in the background. We have been thinking about what we want to do with OMI and how we build that utility through the program. So the good news is that, for us as a product organization within VeVe itself, we have a ratified product strategy that will carry us through for the next at least 12 to 18 months. And it centers around really us kind of evolving the VeVe product quite nicely from where it is today into the direction that, closer, I call it more like, instead of just simply being a Web2 organization right from the get-go and staying there, what we want to try and do is take very methodical and measured steps towards getting, upwards towards 3, but not quite there. I think we're trying to find a balance in 2.5, maybe 2.6. I don't know. We'll see. But there is a plan. We are going to move forward with that, which will kind of mean that we will start to put a little bit more focus and emphasis on the tokenomics and the token side of things, and you will start to see that come through in the experience and how that interlays with the MCP program as well.
12 to 18 months. All right, cool. Cool.
I'm going to continue. There is one more objective, so we have 3 objectives for the quarter. The third objective for us is spending MCP points. So it's all well and good to just stare at your points accumulating.
Let's go.
All well and good to say, I'm accumulating this daily points and it's inaccurate and because we will be fighting this battle right across the next few months anyway. But we felt that, out of everything else from a priority standpoint, we want people to be able to utilize those MCP points that you've been accumulating over the last 2 years as well.
Yep.
So MCP points and spending MCP points will be part of our objectives, and the first cut of that will very likely be an extension of the waitlist itself. And what I mean by that is we're going to allow the expenditure of MCP points to access additional seats or waitlist entries for a user to, ideally increase the probability of your drop being secured for that account and for that collector itself. And you can spend MCP points to do so. So those are the 3 objectives that we have, at least for Q2 when it comes to what our roadmap looks like. We've got cross-platform consistency, then in no particular order, by the way. We've got OMI to NFT, and then we've got spending MCP points.
Going to be a really solid quarter, and you just touched on something there, Mitch, in no particular order. Maybe it's worth just touching on a lot of these things are starting to develop concurrently as opposed to linearly now that we're really expanding it.
Actually, good point. I completely just completely slipped my mind. So as Reese mentioned, these things, we have 3 objectives. These 3 objectives in no particular order. We are gonna try and activate them concurrently, which means the business in itself, and Dave and Dan have made a very conscious decision to really invest in our development capabilities overall. So we have the confidence of the business, of the founders, to try and activate this simultaneously. So what we're kind of moving away from is this whole idea of trying to queue things up and things happen sequentially into ideally delivering things simultaneously across various work streams.
You're gonna need a lot of workers for that.
Perfect.
But
All right, so a lot of exciting stuff coming. Obviously, look, everybody, we are really excited to keep moving on a regular clip here. We're really hard at work on building these teams. As Mitch just mentioned, kind of working on different things concurrently. We have a lot of things happening in the next couple of weeks, including that initial group of Veveverse beta. We have Master Collector program continuing to roll out. We'll have the article outlining the changes and updates to points, levels, ranks, etc. In the coming days. And then we just outlined the Q2 objectives. So exciting stuff. We apologize, obviously what the perception is that, for some reason that we're ignoring or have no longer cared about the OMI token. That is not true. Obviously, just to reiterate what Mitch had said, we just really needed to get our heads together and figure out how to best approach. And I think we have a good plan. So, in Mitch we trust and whatnot.
Please do not do that. There's a whole team here. There's a whole team here that is all dedicated to actually getting this VeVe program and everything that we're doing.
Yeah, pudding
moving
cheeks
in the right direction.
Pudding
right?
cheeks, go.
It's not a single person effort. It is a team of people, and the two of you are absolutely part of this as well.
Get it, Reese.
And thank you for your support. But the other thing that I should mention is I've seen some notes flashing up on the left hand side here. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to get distracted by the things flowing up on the right hand side of the screen. But something to touch on is somebody's mentioned interoperability. As much as it's not part of the Q2 objectives, it doesn't mean that we're not looking at anything blockchain and token related in the background as we plan for Q3 and Q4, right? So as Reese alluded to earlier, we are able now to activate simultaneous streams of work, and some of those pieces of work are actually around discovery. So a lot of you would have noticed that IMX actually released updates around new capability, their partnerships with Polygon, and all that type of fun stuff. What we are looking at is how we can leverage this as well. So from an interoperability standpoint, sorry, I can't about the big word interoperability. Interoperability standpoint, what we are looking at is the developments that are happening within layer 2 on IMX and how they are allowing us to use some of those capabilities to solve some of the interoperability challenges that we may have. So until we understand that thoroughly, we're not going to comment any further on that. But what I can say is that is on our agenda. We are talking about it right now already, and as we solidify what we want to do with interoperability, we will definitely communicate with everybody and keep it nice and open.
Perfect. Between now and then, please don't win us or at us about interoperability, Sam. Like, we're working towards those solutions as we can.
Yeah, and we'll also try to keep communication streamlined on that issue, as it has probably not have been streamlined in the past. We'll make sure that we all are aligned internally as to what our goals are with interoperability. Okay, thank you all for joining us today. That was pretty much the entirety of our updates, unless you have anything that we didn't have mapped out here in the agenda, gentlemen.
The only thing I will touch on or point people to is the videos that Corey has been putting out on VeVe YouTube. Shout out Corey, shout out everybody in the team on that side. But I mean, I know I'm personally learning a heck of a lot from those videos, and I just think they're such a great introduction to a lot of the comics we're releasing. I know there's a short clip that came out about Hulk that's on the channel as well. So if you're not aware of those videos, go check them out. Leave Corey a comment, feedback if you want as well. Okay. It'll help us to craft that content as well. Alex, yeah.
Just from a marketing standpoint, it's imperative that we do create content like that to reach a new new set of users, right? And become a little more discoverable as digital collectibles, NFTs, licensed IP, etc. For SEO purposes, search, anytime somebody's searching Disney NFTs, for instance, we have, we are able to create videos like that or blog articles, of which we will be releasing the new blog soon on VeVe.me. But yeah, absolutely, Corey's been killing it, and it's just a matter of really warming up all of the licensors to the concept and having enough lead times to produce these things. But he's really been cranking stuff out. So please like, subscribe, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm on YouTube. And share as much as you can, because we really would love to get more eyeballs on these things and enlighten people to all of the great content and IP that we have here on the platform. Also, from just a marketing standpoint, again, what I continue to work on is more infrastructure-based and not particularly sexy. It's all about getting all of the data dashboards and CRM in place so that we can continue doing good outreach and targeted campaigns across email, paid social, etc. All of that is happening in tandem with the infrastructure kind of building out. You may have seen some of the promoted posts as of late. We're experimenting across the board on Google and on Instagram and Facebook. So that is all happening, whether you see it or not. And we're really looking forward to, as we get closer to moving KYC a little further into the user journey, onboarding journey rather, so that we can get more new users on the platform and get them using collectibles in showrooms, etc., without having to put down a passport right away. That's going to open up an entire new set of possibilities and get us a little more able to kind of do more of the kind of promo code type activations that you've seen in the past with either movie theaters or at Comic-Con, etc. Also still continuing to work on the event schedule for the year, and we'll have more details on that very soon. One thing to note on the Hulk drop for this Friday, this is the first appearance of Classic Hulk as he appeared in the 60s comic books.
No Gray Hulk?
There will be a total of 5 Hulks, 4 dropping different iterations of the Hulk. As you may, if you're familiar with the comics, you may be able to guess which iterations those are. And if you collect all of them, then you will get the 5th one airdrop. So this one obviously is Classic Hulk, and you'll have to stay tuned to see what other versions of the Hulk will be coming. So single SKU to that's Friday. Sorry, yes, Friday dropping at 8 a.m.
Okay.
We're excited for that one. I think the animation and the sound is great, and we'll look forward to seeing what else we have in store from that Hulk series. Otherwise, still a good amount of stuff coming up in the month of April, including some more new IP. And just a reminder on the 31st, we'll be taking that snapshot for the Gary Baseman Memento Moa pieces. If you collect both, and you will get a 3rd piece airdrop. He recently opened, had a gallery opening in New Zealand called Memento Moa, and we're really excited to be part of releasing those pieces in tandem with that gallery opening. So make sure you check the Medium article.
All right, is that it?
Get those pieces if you want that extra airdrop.
And check out the Corey video.
All right, that seems to be it. So we are going to X out of that. We are going to go back to, let's go back to the beginning. All right, so we have a lot to go over. I've got like an hour's worth of comments here. Which will be more valuable, the poster or the potion? Most likely the posters. I don't know if they'll ever see that inflection point where the potions are more valuable. Gaten Zane says, I think there's something with the potion. It has a key to it. Must be something. Well, I mean, it unlocks the posters for this one for the next few weeks anyway. Peter says, has AMA started? Yeah, we just did that. Also, hi Randy, we appreciate you. Thank you, Peter. Michael James says, yes. Nice, got some photos. We have Darth Chaos says, hello there. Oh, General Darth Chaos. We have Lori Brenner says, hey Randy, VeVe fam, what's going on, Lori? Oh, Lori, you texted me. I'm using my phone for the stream, so I can't text her right now. But Flickerbit says, the Queen is in the house. Thanks for being here for us every single day. Gotta love the Queen. Bitcoin BMW says, oh, you minted it with your potion. It's yours. Again, have VeVe reach out, see what they say. Tony says, hey Randy, why do you think so many people FUD? I've said this before about certain people, and yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit mean here for a second, but sometimes you need that. Look at some of these influencers, some of the people that are, for the first time in their lives, probably getting some attention. Mostly from dudes, but there are a fair amount of women in here as well, and let's face it, a lot of these people that are FUDding in these, and again, I'll just leave it to the influencers. I'll put it here that they've probably never gotten a lot of attention before, and what happens to people, both men and women, that let's say you have that ugly duckling syndrome, where you're maybe a little unfortunate looking in middle school, but then after high school you have a glow up, and then suddenly you're getting all the attention from the opposite sex. You kind of don't know how to act. You're a white belt when it comes to dealing with people. Why? Because you've never had to before. You're invisible. And then all of a sudden you're getting this attention, and again, you don't know how to act. It's the same way when you don't have money for a while, and then suddenly you get a little bit of money. Oh, wow, I don't know how to act with this. You have that, extrapolating that to not just influencers, but just people in general. If they, you get this echo chamber of people saying like, yeah, I, venting the frustration. Some people are saying, yeah, this too. And it feels good when you say something and people agree with you. It feels good when you go and say, oh yeah, whether it's good or bad, having people agree with you and having other people in your camp, like, yeah, this is, I don't know, you just start, you get very tribal. And, a lot of our monkey brains, they just, they make yourself feel safe within a tribe. So I feel like that's part of it. They say, is it because they don't have a long-term vision? I mean, that's all. Yeah, the weird thing about a lot of what I see is people that have already sold. If you already sold your bags, if you already sold your OME and sold your collectibles, like, why are you still here at that point? Like, go be productive somewhere else. And part of the reason why I think that they're not is because if they could maybe be productive and try to make money or do whatever in another project, in another community. But again, because they're not special and they just don't get that attention anywhere else. Whereas here, if they, you have a little bit of clout and okay, yeah, I have some clout in this community, even though you're technically out of it because you don't have any OME left or you don't have any collectibles, whatever. That's the one that I find really weird. But again, you can kind of explain it that way. I don't know if it's real about long-term vision. If you have OME and you have collectibles and you're just saying, hey, listen, I don't like X, Y, and Z because of these reasons. Sure, that's fair. And clearly, obviously, when people make a stink about something, greasy squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they address. Like, do you think they would have addressed the OTC thing if there were not a 72-hour spaces on it? Probably not. But they went and addressed it here, and some people might like the explanation, some people might not. But either way, they addressed it. You got what you wanted out of them. At the end of the day, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want to do. You can DM them privately. You can continue on the campaign and demand more of an explanation. I feel like a lot of that's really a waste of time, but to each their own. Because of the bear market, I mean, yeah, people are bored. When people get bored, what do? They look at things to, they tend to make mountains out of molehills. They can do kind of all that stuff. Lloyd Brenner, thank you for the super chats and Queen VeVe in the house. Let's freaking go. Rafael Garcia says, do you ever do any polls? I'm just curious about people's rankings. Like on the YouTube channel or like on Twitter? Because oh God, what did I do here? No, I accidentally. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I don't have a, what do you call it? I don't have a I don't do any polls on here. I do so on Twitter though. David Chimon says I'm MCP level 23. Very nice. Rafael Garcia says master. I'm a master, level 40. Big A says got potion 418 on drop, almost 420, and instantly minted first mini poster number 63, almost 69. That's legit. Sven Dungeon says, what I do not get is why if you burn the potion, you cannot have an empty potion NFT as a leftover. It would be pretty cool. That would be cool, but I think they just wanted to, and they might get something like that in the future. This is just the first iteration of burning things. Rafael Garcia says, Master 30 here, my man, get it. Smarty Pants. If they give Q&A time, will someone ask about the impact they see from Disney Metaverse layoffs, and if they see any impact on the Veveverse branded IP apart from Disney or not? That is a very good question. I guess we could talk about that. My body, a little bit. So we'll talk about that right here. Disney layoffs. Bob Iger is a gangster. Like, he is a straight, stone cold savage. And I feel like most likely what he did is under the guise of layoffs, under the guise of saying, hey, we need to cut the fat, we need to really be beholden to our shareholders and the short-term quarterly profits, we need to do what Elon Musk did and just cut out all the people that are unproductive, and which the company may or may not need to do. But in that, you might as well fire some people that you did not hire. Why would you trust some people that your predecessor had hired that you clearly don't like? So it seems that this may or may not have been a move to go and just get rid of Bob Chapek's people, bring in some of his. After a quarter or two, be like, oh, hey, we'll bring the metaverse back. We'll hire people that I want. Who is that going to be? I don't know. I would suggest Square Enix. Maybe you get some people from Tencent or something in order to do that. Some people say, like, can they get VeVe? Can they get VeVe? Guys, VeVe has enough on their plate. I don't think VeVe would try to build Disney's metaverse. They haven't come out with their own metaverse yet. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they do have for their own metaverse is going to be really cool, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. Will Disney be part of the IP brands? Well, if Disney doesn't have their own metaverse and that they're not working on, it would make some poetic sense for Disney to go and say, hey, let's be part of the Veveverse branded IP worlds, see how that does, and we could learn from that. We can find out what works, we could find out what doesn't work, and then we could use that to really catapult our own metaverse. I think that's very possible. I think it's very possible you see a Disneyverse inside the Veveverse. Obviously, that's not going to be Disney's main Disneyverse metaverse, but I do believe that is something that they would do short term, just to be able to say, hey, let's see how this company does it. Let's see how VeVe does it. Let's see the response of that. If it works out, great. We'll do a carbon copy formula, and then we'll add our own twist to it. If it doesn't work out, we'll see why, and then we'll learn from their mistakes. That is actually a really good example. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me take a screenshot of that. Yeah. There we go. Good screenshot. We got Mark Robertson was going on saying, no, there's no correlation between the mints. I burned potion 1913, got had a mini random mint, got mini poster 45. Oh my god, that's amazing. Congrats, Mark. Mohammed Gulfraz says potions need to complete the set. Oh, it is. Whoa. Dope. So good bits, yep, agree. Sendon says, to have the set, I think you need the posters and the potion. I did see a tweet or a Facebook post about it. Oh, that's wild. Jim also says, yes, collectibles and potion. Whoa. So yeah, that incentivizes. All right, so then let's say you have 4. No, you wouldn't even have. Yeah, oh no. If you want to complete the set and there's 1833, you don't divide that by 4. You have to divide that by 5. So you're taking a look at, 300 would get you 1,500. So 350 would get you 1,750. So it's less than 400. You have less than 400 posters each of these. I think 290 or 200. Yeah, I think whatever they are now at the $200 range, I think they're worth it, definitely. The posters are. Big A says most expensive secret rare miles ever sold yesterday was 9.5K. All the mints are low and 2-digit, getting almost no premium or like 15%. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for that factoid. We got Mark Robertson saying, yeah, you need the potion to make that last set. All right, my Collectibles, thank you for the super chat, saying thanks for streaming this. Of course, my Collectibles, I love you. Marcus Cole says, potion uncapping poster redemption is back up. You've just tweeted, huzzah. Omar Kasajay says, potion back to be used. Meat's back on the menu, boys. Potion back to be used. On to be used. Omar Kasajay says, let the games begin. My Collectibles says, all right, my Collectibles hanging here for the stream. Thank you, my Collectibles. Sleeping Comic says, let's go. My Collectibles in peace. Omar says, hi, my Collectibles. My Collectibles doing a dab. Peters, quick question. When's the AMA? It started at 5. I don't know what time it is now. Omar Kasajay says, I'm going to hold this potion as a wine vintage collection. I got to agree with that. Everyone giving me those thumbs up. I thank you. Rafael Garcia says, is there a time limit to use the potion? Yes, you have to use it by, I think, April 26th. I'll check on that and get back. But yeah, I'm pretty sure April 26th. KGM Jam says, you had to be an unlimited plus, and he is a Japanese character when they tried to bring the Japan market in. Is Sunfire a girl or a dude? Maybe, I guess it's a dude. What up, Energy? Pixel Trader says, nice. They got Alex, Mitch, and Reese. Oh, yeah. Gotta love the trio. The Trinity. Dude, Reese's Bay so much. I love him. VeVe Las Vegas says, what's up, fam? Got lucky today and hit the potion on 1 bar. No Wi-Fi. Hodling forever. That's a lucky get. Owen Power says, is it AMA o'clock? It was, lad. It was. Sven Dungeon says, no matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire, the one. That's it. Owen Power says, press 1 if you think they will address OTC. They did. VeVe Las Vegas says, 1, they have to. Sven Dungeon says, Randy, go for touch heals and jump up 7 times, my man. VeVe Las Vegas says, I don't care about OTC deals. Just communicate with us. Agreed. San Bukasa says, people are probably pissed. They're laughing, LOL. I love it. Lloyd Brenner says, wow. Silveretta says, I'm taking a shot every time they say soon. You probably said a couple of shots there. Lori Brenner says, what IMG, LFG? Let's freaking go. VeVe Las Vegas, give me that popcorn. Thank you so much. Omi Power's not happy, saying nobody's going to buy my bags now. They're just going to buy VeVe's bags. Again, this is not something that's probably going to be repeatable for most people. KC BMW says BS. Zafasa says, let's go, Randy. Omar says, not BS. Agreed. Bobby saying bread. Paul Davies says, fair, but what about all the Rewind NFT Danny sent to them? They were Amelia's. I don't know. They didn't address that. Lord Brenner says, not sure, B40. Yep. Omar says, this happens often in high-end trades in the physical. Agreed, it does. Anyone that's had a comic book store or had dealt in high-end collectibles, Pokemon, like I have, you see that all the time. But I says, Randy, can we get 10 push-ups for the fam? I don't really have any room to do them, so no. Another time. Sean Atkins says, Dashi not moving. Hope he's okay. Dashi's 100% fine. Dashi is always okay. Get a little more Dashi in there. Big A says, wow, Randy, as tough as you are on VeVe, kind of surprised how quickly you accept this explanation and see it as a positive. I mean, they can go and raise money anytime they want, Big A. I mean, yeah, maybe they only made 6 figures on this deal, which I would hope they would give us an exact number, but that just goes to show you that they could raise capital anytime they want. They don't have to sell part of the company. They don't have to do, like rush it on drops. They could just sell this. And the more money in VeVe's war chest, which is how we will make money, the better. Like, I cannot see a downside to that. Sven Dungeon says, Randy, I just tagged you on Facebook about the sets. 5 needed for platinum moments. Set posters. Let's go. Paul Davies says, go. Sven Dungeon says, I don't even have MCP. Far from Veveverse. I want my MCP too. You'll get it next quarter. Lukady Dukady says, here for the random Randy noises. Thanks, Sam. Smartbuy says they just distracting people with hypes. I mean, it's not hype if it's true. And am I on a hype train? Sure, 100%. Only powers to no MCP here either. Yeah, I think only like 30% of people have it so far. KCBMW says 20K. Do we even have 20K users? But yeah, we have a lot of users. One Punch Brand says, hello everyone. Hi, One Punch Brand. KCBMW says, hey Brand. My Collectible says, I was 100% right about the OTC deal. The mind of a collector. You got it. You called it, My Collectibles. I heard you in that Spaces the other day. You called it. Colin Lynch says 100. He was 100% right. One Punch Brand says Dragon Ball confirmed. No, there's no Dragon Ball confirmed yet. Not yet. Although they did say new IP in April. What is that new IP? I don't know. But yeah, that'd be dope. Jordan Reed says, let's get it, Randy. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Stan says, Randy, thanks, man. Of course. The Las Vegas says, no MCP here yet, but I did get crypto pay-in. Oh, I'm so jealous. Jordan Reed says, go, Lori. Go, Lori. The Las Vegas says, you're usually spot on, My Collectibles. Only Power says, they should make their fee 0, like DC, to show good faith. No, why would you want them to do that? I mean, I get it so that you pay less fees, but again, you want the company that is in charge of our bags, you want them to make money. That is a good thing. That is a fact of life. And again, you can have them to charge 0 like DC to show good faith, but how much money is Hero making? How much money how much money are they making? You gotta look at it long term. You gotta look at what's best for the company. Jordan Reed says, hey Randy, someone had an interesting comment in the Discord. They said MCP and OUP merged, but keeping MCP name, basically rugging OUP. No, well, they are going to put it into, they are trying to combine them a little bit. But no, the OUP is not getting rugged. The OUP is evolving. Both of them are evolving, and they're morphing into something beautiful. And what is going to be what's going to become of that OMI development roadmap? Are they going to make a whole new one? Are they up to, I don't know. We'd probably have to get Puddin' Cheeks on, maybe O'Brien, whoever. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. And again, they had mentioned that they are going to have utility soon, such as OMI to NFT. And then you're probably going to OMI to Gem afterwards. But when did they say they'd give us exchanges? After OMI has some utility, so they could list as a utility token. Although it should be listed as a Metaverse token from the start. I think, who's the one that Kyle Wilson works for? Oh God, I forget the dude's name. He's got like a couple 100,000 followers over on the YouTube. I think like 80,000 followers over on the Twitter. He follows me too. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. But let me go to the Twitter. I'll find Kyle Wilson and then I'll go and it should have it on there. Paul Barron TV. Yeah, so Paul Barron BT has 80-something thousand followers. We follow each other and they already have OMI as a Metaverse token. So yeah, super excited. Stan says, will the waitlist drive prices up? It'll make the drops fairer. I don't know if it'll drive the prices up. Only Power says, rip bots. Yep, rip bots. Stan says, buy Recur, please. I would see no sense in buying Recur. Instead of paying however many millions for Recur, I would much rather go to the licensors and say, hey, instead of dropping your IP on this failed platform, back the truck up and drop your IP on our platform. That's how you get Hello Kitty. That's how you get Nickelodeon. That's how you get a bunch of these other really amazing IPs that they have. And Yeah, that's how you go and do it. You don't do it by buy. There's no point in buying Recur platform when all of the users that are on Recur came from VeVe. There's no point in doing that. Getting the IP is the better way to do that. You spend a lot less money, you still get the IP, and yeah, that's the better way. Skinny Pete's afternoon. What up, Skinny Pete? How's it going? And says, is music in the fold? It will be. They didn't talk about it this time, but it will be. DNA straight capping, saying 2 out of 10 AMA. I give it like an 8.5 out of 10 AMA. Jordan Reed says, I give it a 5 out of 10 Veveverse. Next month is massive. How do you give it a 5 out of 10 and say next month is massive? And only to NFT in Q2. Yeah, this is dope. Zavesa says it's their focus. Yeah, it is their focus. Does that mean we get all these things in Q2 that they were talking about? No. Maybe we get 1 or 2 of those things. But yeah, I would expect a lot of things I talked about in Q3. Obviously not the Veveverse. That will be rolled out Q2. They said mid-April. I would expect that late May, early June, just because you have a lot of testing to do. You have a lot of stuff that's going on top of that. You just have a lot of things happening. And again, this first iteration of the Veveverse is just going to be the showroom, which is going to be fun. It's going to be dope AF, but it's not. Don't be expected to be driving around your DeLoreans in the Veveverse in mid-April. Expect the showrooms. Expect doing other stuff on that really cool property. And again, what in that Veveverse, in that particular showroom, what we have, that's Unity Engine. That is not Unreal Engine 5. That Unreal Engine 5 you'll probably see in the actual Veveverse. Like lots of great stuff happening. Jordan says GG. Sean Atkins says Omi to NFT. Zen says Omi. Yeah, finally talking about Omi. There you go, Jordan said AMA just went 8 out of 10. Let's go. DN 809 says Omi to NFT. Zavesa says Jordan to the moon. Jordan says if they announce an exchange, oh dude, if they announce an exchange, I would have gotten $5,000 richer because I bet my friend Gina we'd get in exchange. Well, I bet her we'd either get KuCoin, Binance, or Coinbase by the end of the year, and if we get one, then I get 5K. If we don't get one by the end of the year, then I give her 5K. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. United States agreed. Zavesa says Omi to NFT. Zavesa says, what does that do for Omi price? Well, it'll help burn from the circulating supply. The fees will anyway. Zavesa says exchanges. That's probably a Q3, Q4 thing. I would not expect exchanges in Q2. They would have probably said something. Yeah, I would not expect exchanges in Q2. Paul Davies says, feels like Mitch is literally the driving force behind everything. Right? Yeah, dude, so we got to take Mitch out to dinner. We got to get him. We got to take care of him. When you see Mitch, you buy him a beer. If y'all were wanting to buy me a beer, give that beer to Mitch. You give him whatever the heck that he wants. Zaveda says next couple of quarters. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff we're going to get in Q2. I would expect an exchange to be Q3, Q4. Hopefully Q3. Well, hopefully Essence is listed before Omi, so I could sell some of that and buy some Omi. But if Omi gets listed and we're suddenly here's a price prediction thing that I made a while ago. That was with shout out to Stacy Langley, who made me do this. My price predictions, we're going from Stacy Langley. Oh, girl, where you at? Girl. All right. In June of 2023, I think we will be at 0.0015. That's roughly a doubling of where we are now. So that's like I said, by June. And then you have December of 2023. I think we could be half a penny because I think that at that point we have an exchange, we have volume. Maybe we're finally getting out of this freaking bear market. Then December of 2024, I think we're at 4 cents. I know that's like 19, 20 months from now, give or take. But I think by December 2024, I think we can get up to 4 cents. 2 weeks after a tier 1 exchange, I had said we could be about 0.0035. So it's about 1/3 of 1 penny. After a full OUP rolled out staking, I said we would be about, after full OUP rollout with staking, I'd said it would be about 3 cents. Like I said, we probably won't get that until next year. And again, that's full OUP and full Veveverse rollout, not what we're getting this year. Maybe not. Yeah, now we're getting this year, which we will get a lot of stuff this year. We'll get the IP branded worlds, probably Q4. But I'm talking about full rollout, all the customizable avatars, that full interoperability, full everything, gamification. At that point, which I think 2024, 2025, We're on a bunch of exchanges. We're in that bull. I said 10 cents. So I'm just keeping y'all in the loop of where I am. Stan says burn Omi. Yep, we'd love to burn Omi. Christopher Merton says, finally, I was getting worried about holding on to millions of Omi without reassurances that they actually going to continue to integrate it into the Veveverse experience. Yes, I know they are. Vidimon says, agree, Jordan, just waiting on exchanges. Oh, heck yeah. Jordan said that Reese said, exchanges once we have Omi to NFT. Omi to NFT in Q2 means exchanges straight after it. So, yeah. Like I said, even if we don't get Omi to NFT in Q2, even if it's in Q3, we'll get exchanges in Q3 or Q4. At least one. Now, if they want to troll me and they just go on like Kraken and Crypto.com and a bunch of other places that are not KuCoin, Binance, and Coinbase, we get on multiple exchanges. I lose the bet. That's whatever. And be advised, I do have another bet with the real Ryan Pleb. Forget his name, but it's a $10,000 bet between me and him. Foster Hilt is brokering the deal, and he believes that we will not be at 1 penny at all in 2024. I think, of course, we hit more than that at some point. So if we hit 1 penny at some point in 2024, I get $10,000. If we don't, I give him $10,000. So yeah. Only Power says, only going to believe it when I see it. Fair point. Fair. Vidimon says, and make sure David signs a DocuSign. yes, we have to make sure. Kurazim says, when drivable Randy? I don't know. Remember that episode of Rick and Morty? Hang on 1 second. Oh God, water's so good. Remember that episode of Rick and Morty where they go and they Rick says, Morty, you got to think that you're going to be a car. I mess with your DNA so that you can become a car. And Morty's like, what, Rick? What'd you do? So they try to do it, and they're like, oh, never mind, Morty, we don't need it. When drivable Randy, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be a car. You ever see that episode of Supernatural where Sam gets turned into a car, and then Dean has to go into the trunk of the car, and he's like, Dean, it feels weird. And then he slams the trunk, and Dean's like, ow. Or Sam's like, ow. Jordan Reese says, ha, just leave David out of the Omi stuff. Let Reese and Mitch handle it. Yeah, let them do what they got to do. Sounds their commitment to Omi keeps me bullish. Huzzah. Cool Mo says, I'm going to sleep good tonight. Omi to NFT, baby. Let's freaking go. It's happening. Jordan Reese says, get ready for an Omi pump when the news reaches some whales who are waiting on the sidelines. Rip to everyone that wants to wait to buy Omi at 0004. Everyone thinks that it is. Let's check out Bitforex and see. Oh, it's at 003735. All right, hold on. Wait a tick. 735. I'll put at 153. I'm gonna buy. All right. We're gonna get another 100,000 Omi here. Get another 100,000 Omi. All right, there we go. I'm the top. Let's go. 100,000 Omi. Let's get this bread. And it should, yeah, because the next one after me is, you could tell it's a bot that's trading at 108,000.71K. Whenever you see 108,000, whenever you see 108,000.71K, that's bot traders, trader bots. Oh, this mother flapper. He moved it in front of me. So that, and there's two in front of me now. All right. I see what they did there. All right, now the bot trade. All right, so like that's just kind of what's going on. I have the buy order of 153,000 there. And yeah, that's and the bot just went ahead of me. Like they do this all the time. Like I don't care. If it fills, great. If not, no big deal. I don't mind. Moving on. One Punch Brand says, give me MCP already. I know, right? We want the MCP. I want it too. I mean, well, I have it. But yeah, to be able to use it, which I think is really dope. Air Blues says, Omi to NFT is coming very soon. I got an email a few days ago saying that I've been whitelisted for the trial. Let's freaking go. I love this game. Dude. Comment down below if you're bullish. Comment down below if that was the best AMA ever. I think it was. Space says, "Why, Jordan? It's only OMI to NFT, but that's a great first step, and we're gonna get exchanges." Vidimon says, "Haha, I'm checking Bitforex now." One Punch Friends, good decision. App needs more development to keep us on there and engaged. Agreed. Needs more social aspects. Also agreed. Can we block people on VeVe, please? I get trolls in my posts every now and then. PlanetVampire.com. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Jordan Riz says, "I hope it stays low. I'm gonna buy a few more milli next week." Jordan, you're falling behind. You got to surpass me, man. It is your duty, Jordan. I want to see what 200 million owe me. I'll never get there. Bobby says, "Excellent updates." I agree. Bobby says, "Mitch is the man." Also agree. Jordan Reed says, "Yep." Ha ha ha. Victor Siri says, "To the moon." Peter says, "Interoperability." Vector Siri says, "Game over. We did it." Only Power says, "They hired Mitch 1 year too late. Better late than never, I guess." Yeah, I think Mitch and Nessa would have been great to hire in 2021, but I'm 100% fine with the way things are going right now. Peter says, "Todd to 10K. Let's go." Dude, Todd was at like 703 this morning. Freaking nuts. Jordan Reese says, "Still the early days." Yep. Jordan Reese says, "We're going to be ready for next year's bull run." Yep. Well, I don't think Bitcoin halving starts next year. And I guess the bull run will start next year after that. Bobby says, "Yep, still so early." Jordan Reese says, 10 cent Omi. Let's go. 10 cent. I'm in. Vidimon says, "Building in a bear market is a blessing." Agreed. Bobby says, "All I heard is bread. All I do is win." Chris Amy says, "Anyone staying for the after credits?" I did not. Bobby says, "VeVe is blessed with the recurring cash flow for building." They are. Sven Daniel says, "Randy, keep the tablet here. We cannot hear it." Sorry. Coconut says, "Is the back house?" G-Flow's only prediction after AMA. I mean, my predictions don't really change because again, let's say bull market starts soon. We are not going to, how everything pumped up, like Bitcoin went from 15K to 28K and OMI went down. If we were on exchanges, OMI would have pumped. We're not. We are finally getting a little bit of utility with OMI to NFT, but we can get that all the live long day. If we're not on exchanges, and we don't have Veveverse, we're not really gonna pump that much. That being said, we are going to. So I just read you my predictions that I made a while ago, and they're still gonna stay. Owen Power says, "Yep." Jordan says 5 to 10 cents late 2024, early 2025. In my opinion, if we get 2 big exchanges and maybe 2 to 4 mid exchanges by mid 2024, quite possibly. Bobby says, "You guys got 6 months to stack these grails before they gone." I mean, what about localization? I mean, a lot of people here are really just from America, Europe, and Canada. There's no Asia yet. When Asia gets onboarded, yeah, what you say is correct, Bobby. These will be gone. Space says, "Only prediction this summer." Well, for me, June, I said 0.0015 because I believe a doubling from now. Only Power says, "There's always new grails. FOMO is busy. FOMO's never dead." Space says, "OMI better than grails." I mean, I have a lot of OMI. I don't have that many grails. I actually don't have it. I think the VeVe logo will be a grail in the future. Right now, I just believe it's a top S tier. But a grail, I think, is a grail is 5 figures in my opinion. $3,400, whatever the logo is right now, not necessarily a grail. Even the partner statue, I believe, is in the top 5 that most important on this app. It's like $2,500. Like normal people can get that. That is not a grail if you can get that with a couple paychecks, or if you decide to sell something. That's a grail is when it is out of reach for most people. Which I get. Most of the world cannot afford $2,500 for that. But if we, most of the world doesn't. I think half the world still doesn't have internet. If we take a look at the first world countries, yeah, most people in first world countries, $25 is doable. At some point, you have to save and budget and do whatever. But Bobby says now there's only 5 to 10 big grails. I mean, well, it depends. Are you talking about collectibles or comics? If I'm getting the top tier collectibles, the Todd, which is not a grail, the Todd is $700, but the Todd's top tier collectible. That is very historic. That is super undervalued. Riso, I feel kind of the same way. And then you have the Ultimate Animated Spider-Man, that secret rare, the ultra rare. You have the partner statue. I'm really loving this platinum set. I'm really digging this. You have the VeVe logo. And then that's just some of the things that we have here. Miles Morales I mean, that thing's already a freaking grail. That thing's already like 10 grand. Then you have the comic books, which there are a bunch of these comic books that have historically gone for millions and millions of dollars. So yeah, there's a lot. Only Power says many more to come. Yep, I will. Yeah. Video Mom says, and we have Pokemon just sitting out there waiting for confirmation. That's true. I mean, listen, if we get Pokemon, if we get Nintendo, oh my God, if we get these shiny boys, if we like this would, I will. Oh God, I don't know what I don't know what I'd do. I would run around the block with y'all or something. I don't know. I would be so freaking. I don't know if the people that I rent the room from. I don't know if my friends would let me do that. Like Chavez, if you go running around the block screaming "We got Pokemon," they're gonna call the cops. They're gonna think like you're brown on top of that. This is not a good look. I'll be like, all right, that's fair. That's fair. Sean Atkinson says Grails won't be this low in price for much longer. You are correct. They will go up. Only Power says, LOL, Pokemon will have their own platform. They might not. They really might not. Jordan Reed says, I think maybe 1 cent this year, depending on exchanges. Jordan, oh my God, talk dirty to me, Jordan Rees. Daddy, ooh, you got that Riz. I 1 cent this year. I mean, if suddenly Veveverse rolls out, if everything rolls out on time, it's a really big freaking if, and then we get exchanges. Let's say we get exchange late Q2. Let's say we get it in June. Even in July, we get exchanges in July. Let's say, I mean, yeah, I guess you could if suddenly we decide, oh, hey, we skipped this recession and bear market's over and a lot of money's coming in. Yeah, sure, but. That a lot has to happen for 1 penny this year. That's a lot. Only Power says that's why everyone says every month. Haha, yeah. Bobby says best way to stack Omi will be to get Grails now and sell for Omi in Q2. That's fair. Zaviz says Jordan Riz, I hope they come with exchanges soon. This year, definitely this year. Video Mom says Alcon didn't come out of retirement for some mess. It's a good point. Very good point. He didn't come out for some mess. Zaveza says VeVe is for collectors, Omi is for investors. That's also a fair point. I think VeVe can be for investors as well. Mr. K says, woohoo. James says, they're talking about exchanges and you turned them off. Did they? I feel like they didn't. Zaveza says, I sold all my collectibles for Omi. Oh, never mind. He deleted that message. Zaveza says, can I still be here? Of course, man. Of course. Mr. K is like, when's the VeVe AMA? It happened already. It's done. JP Trees, everyone the victim of culture. Davis, it sounds like no exchanges even in Q3. Robert M says, what? Doubt, James, doubt. Robert M says the bet is going to be interesting. It will. One Punch Brand says I missed that part. Was the explanation for that? Explanation for what? Let me know. Jordan Riz says at least 8 out of 10 for AMA, almost 9. That's why I said 8.5. Says they even mentioned exchanges. Oh, did they do it when I left? What did they say about exchanges? They were just telling everyone to do other stuff. Let me. Oh, did my buy order fill? My buy order did not fill, which is fine. Let me go and try to take a look at what people are saying about exchanges, if they are saying something. Oh God. Oh Lordy. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh Lori, I love you so much. I was like, okay, yep. Too late. Have to adjust. Yep. They didn't say anything about exchanges, right? They talked about. Well, they said Q2, which probably means Q3. So exchanges in Q3 or Q4 most likely. Yep. Sorry, I got out. Oh, let me see who that is. There's no one there. Oh, there's a big box. Big box. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Where was I? Mr. CRP teases 0001 soon. That would obviously never happen. James says they said they would have NDAs and could not talk about exchanges. Very nice. That makes me very bullish as well. Metaverse is bullish. Jordan says 0001 not possible. Agreed. James says, and Alex made it sound like it won't even be in Q3. Did he though? I feel like he didn't. Jordan Reese says, though I'd love it. I'd do whatever I could to double my bags. Same. Menram says, Randy, do you think Omi could drop even lower and add another zero? It won't get to 4 zeros. Zavage says, Jordan, what they say about exchanges? Randy left AMA. Jordan says, they just mentioned they're in talks with exchanges and have signed some NDAs, so can't talk too much about it. So probably lined up for after Omi to NFT in the VeVe exchanges, hopefully drop like the next day. Well, really, when they announce exchanges, they only announce it the week before. Like they don't announce it 3 months in advance. Like they don't say, hey, we got on Kraken in June, and then in like October they drop it. No, it's like, okay, hey, this is August 31st. We're announcing KuCoin. September 7th will be on KuCoin. Like they don't announce it like months prior. They announce it like a week prior, maybe. Zavage says, cool. Christopher Martin says, VeVe is going to be the Toys R Us of the virtual world with a McDonald's play place for us to all integrate different IP in. I like the sound of that. Sleeping Comic says, good update. Oh, I thank you, Sleeping. Jordan Reese says, gotta go now, guys. Thanks for the stream, Randy. Bye, Jordan. Meow, meow, meow. Ire Blue says, has anyone else had a whitelisted email for Omi to NFT? I have not. They don't get me in on anything early. Grozami says, people get active wallets and users confused. Very different. Fair point. Fair point. Jason Amato says, just more buzzwords from VeVe. Boy, you cried wolf. Veveverse will not pump this user base. I think it will. Scott Colantonio has joined the chat late. Hello K tweeted that no Omi utility until Q3. Is that what you heard as well? K is just straight up lying. So don't listen to him. They literally said that it is for Q2. Now, if K would have said, hey, they mentioned this is a Q2 priority, which means we probably won't get it until Q3, which is probably fair, then that's fine. But him just saying like, hey, they said no, like why are you lying? Doesn't matter. So not sure why everyone thinks exchanges will pump Omi, won't do it. Yes, it will. Part of the reason that we're down here is because it's impossible to buy, and there's no volume. There's literally $1 million in volume each day. A lot of times less, like 700,000-800,000. When we're on exchanges and we have millions of dollars in volume, let's say we have 50 million in volume each day. Is the price going to 50x? No. But can the price 5x? Yes, very, very easily. Like this is very simple. Don Sparko NFT says, yo, what up, Don Sparko? Scott Colantonio says, Jason, the trading volume is 1/20th of similar projects. It's nearly impossible to buy, if not most. For most, it will certainly pump and maintain a higher price. Agreed, Scott. Isan says, yo, this update on VeVe was he says, unnecessarily. He said, no, all right, Isan, were you even listening? There was a ton of new info on this. I think nothing will happen until the banks stop raising interest rates. I mean, you mean for like the overall macro environment? Sure, that's fair. But obviously, VeVe is still continuing to build. They're not going to not release Omi to NFT because banks are going down. That's dumb. That's silly. Jason says, Scott, I've been involved with enough crypto projects. I want to go on exchanges, and once it does, nothing happens. My pump for a day, VeVe does. All right, so I don't know what crypto projects you're trying to compare VeVe and Omi to, but they don't have Disney as part. I don't care what crypto project you are in. They don't have Disney as partnership. They don't have Universal as partnership. They don't have any of these partnerships. These are completely different things. As it says, also, why would they once again find a way to worsen a new feature, putting a hard limit on crypto in? I swear they don't really want this market to lift off. I mean, that is probably just temporary. I don't think that would be right now. They will have a cap on Omi to gem, but that's just because you have only so much Omi that's going to be in that gem liquidity pool. But for the crypto to gem, I feel like that's just only going to be temporary. The cap. JP Tree says, I can see Omi definitely going to 3 to 10 cents, especially with more exchanges and burn mechanisms for reduced or deducted circulating supply. But Omi should eventually do dollars in the future when trading volume is there and burn. Patience. It'll probably be $1 in the next bull market in 2029 and probably multiple dollars in the 2030s. That is quite a bit away, though. This says, where's transfers, crypto payout, things we want. Transfers, I mean, I guess they just have to figure out how to do that without having a money laundering thing. Same thing with crypto payout. Dismar says, Randy single-handedly holding up the price of Omi. Kudos. It's not just me. There are a bunch of other people. You guys might think me a whale. I am not. I am sperm of the sperm whale. There are other whales that I know that are worth 9 figures that could buy me. Jason says, JP won't be dollars. It would have to be bigger market cap than ETH. No, I mean, I guess right now, but that's assuming that ETH stays the same price for 10 years, which is freaking stupid. JP Trees is at Jason Amata at the current circulating supply. The amount of burn supply will have the upper price valuation. Yes, a good point. Good point. Izon says, I'll buy some OMI at 000 420. Unfortunately, I really don't think it gets there. That'd be great if it did. I'd buy a ton more, but I doubt it would. JB Tree says, Jason Amata, not on many top exchanges, and they will be audited and reported with top exchanges with less circulating supply to jump off as well. And will be audited and reported with top exchanges. Okay. Jason Amata says, maybe you're right, but I know for a fact they don't care about the token. No, you don't. Like you're just straight up lying. So I'm not even going to read your comments. Isan says, oh yeah, localization. I almost forgot about the Asia hype over 1 year ago, hoping that happens someday. Would be cool. Probably going to be later this year. I would definitely say second half, probably Q3, Q4. We'll probably get something like that. One Punch Brand says, Todd is a grail. He's definitely an S tier collectible that I believe to be a blue chip collectible that everyone should have in their portfolio. I do not have him, but that's because I focus on other things. But again, $700 is not a grail. 700 is a million. I spent that much yesterday on layer 2 only from biscuits. West Coast guys, I'm an only holder and I'm pissed. Why, girl? Why? What was the issue with this update? The fact that they talked about OMI to NFT? The fact that they said, hey, we're actually talking to exchanges? I don't understand. David Tree says, because you buy bloody and dread coins that aren't dead unless VeVe's a zombie and dies, but having the insight and time to pay attention to a Comey gives you knowledge of the opportunity at hand. Agreed. One Punch Brand says, first of the first on the platform and the first official Batman NFT pricing. Yep, that is the Todd. He is amazing. Everyone should have him. One Punch Brand says, pricing can't really define a grail when we're on the brink of World War III and a full-blown recession. I understand that. It's a fair point. Sam 100 per says, when Pokemon comes, Lewis Morgan will probably drop like 100 million on the app. He won't drop that much. Could I picture him dropping 1 million on the app? Yes. I could picture him dropping 7 figures. I don't think he would drop 100 million on anything. I could picture him dropping 1 million or, a couple million, but not that much. Desmond says, is Randy okay with that OTC deal? Or shady? Not shady. This is a thing that happens all the time in the real world. What about 80 collectibles sent to VeVe? We get man wrap off deals. Well, again, when it's with the company, it's their company. They can do what they want and set the terms what they want on their deal. They struck a deal with him, and they wanted those Amelias for whatever reason. I don't know why. Carlos Castro says, good AMA. Thank you. Rosemi says, did you go for Starry Night Drop? I did not. Omar Kasaje got 250,000 Omi. Get that bread. Mr. K's laughing, saying sperm of the sperm whale. I am, dude. Remember last time we were at 0007s and there was like a 2 billion Omi sell wall? Someone bought that. That wasn't a conglomerate of 13 whales accumulate. No, that was one person that bought 2 billion Omi all at once. Spent over $1 million on that. I know who it was. And again, someone that can drop 7 figures, this is dumb, and just buy it back up. That's it's pretty freaking wild. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh god, down here, Pokemon. Yeah, okay, there we go. I did not go for Starry Night Drop. So you have actual whales, and I'm not one, not yet. PBS Kid says, yo, Randy, just making sure that if one has a potion, that they also would need to own a Platinum Moment in order to get a poster. Yes, you do. You do need to own Platinum Moment. The Alchemist says, would you accept Omi for Dashi? For the right amount, yes. Dashi's on eBay for 50,000. If you pay directly in Omi, I don't know. If you really want Dashi and you want to pay an Omi, we'll work out a deal. Shoot me a message on Twitter. Dismata says, let me clarify. I want to say they don't care about the token. I'm just going by what I've seen the last few years. I hope, because I know you don't know the team. My collectible saying, yeah, deals like this are normal in the collectibles industry. David used collector mindset on full display. Nothing new for me. Cheers. One Punch Brand says, with that logic, Donnie is a Grail, but not the first appearance of Batman. Okay, I understand the hole in that logic. I mean, he kind of is. Now, again, is he something that people are going to care about long term? Not exactly. I mean, the legends of him are going to be great, but he wasn't in the original Powerpuff Girls. He wasn't in, it's weird. One Punch Brand says solely because or pricing. I wouldn't say solely. Says I'm a hashtag team. Team, go team. Yeah, I wouldn't base it solely on pricing. Yeah, no, $5,000, $5K. Okay, hold on. The problem is also exchange listings. When exchanges, it could literally take 3 months for an exchange to list a token. Usually, they said they were in talks with exchanges, but couldn't say anything due to NDA. Yeah, we bet dollars. You owe me the moon. You can't go betting 5K on a whim like a degenerate. Super secret. Either Omi doesn't moon and I get 5K, or does moon and my bag is that much bigger, where 5K is nothing. I just like keeping things interesting, giving myself challenges along the way, so life doesn't get too boring. I love this group. Okay, all right. We got some more stuff. Oh no, that was it. We got One Punch Brand says Team Potion. Milestone Rand says Donnie is more of a VeVe specific Grail, one of those if you know flex kind of things. Yeah, agreed. Okay, I can finally sit down. Okay. Alchemist says, I respect you making videos when the VeVe market is down, and Omi too. That shows you really have conviction for the project. Respect, man. So, Alchemist, do you or do you not want to buy Dashi? Because I would love to get $40,000 worth of Omi. Or we could do it different. You could do some Omi, some cash, some Omi, some other type of collateral. I just want more freaking Omi. And also, the Alchemist. Let's say if we come to a thing. Let's say it's 40K. Or whatever, however much, whatever it is, whatever you pay, I guarantee to double what you pay. Like if you give 40K, I will give you 80K in 2 years, because Dashi's not staying with you forever. I will get Dashi back, and I could give you the 80K for it, or Dashi's coming back to me. So it'd basically be on loaner, and then I give you the money, double what you pay, whatever you pay. You can decide, well, I want 100K into okay, well then I'll give you 200K. Give you 100, but again, it's whatever. Of course, I was just thoughts on OEP and MCP merge. I think it's going to be harder to really. I mean, both these things in general, I think, are hard to do, but to merge them together, I'm very curious to see how they're going to do that. Shout out to Puddin Cheeks, shout out to Reese, shout out to everyone working on OUP. And then working on it for 2 years, and then say, okay, now we're going to integrate it, and they have to move on the fly, and it's like, how much work can these guys do? This is what they're doing, working all night and all day on this, and it's just incredible. Yeah, it's wild. So I will. We owe them so much more. We owe them a lot. News Now Marijuana says Alchemist, take Dashi and leverage him. Smart play. Don't say they use Dashi as leverage, but yeah, I mean you can if you want. One Punch Brand says they really like making those irrelevant characters a secret rare. They did the same thing with Star Wars drop. Manitoban, that no one even knew. Yeah, no one knew who that was about. No one knew Manitoban. We still don't. Someone reached out to her on Twitter and they found out that he was a she. Veveverse on track. Let's freaking go! Can't believe Veveverse beta is going to happen within like 2 months. That'd be great if VeVe logo holders were on dibs for that. There would be there'd be a lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff I can't get into right now. Somebody on the VeVe Discord is like, "Yo, Randy Chavez, owe me the NFT." Sheesh. Oh, I don't even know where they had. This might have been an old. That might have been an old tag from like an hour ago that I didn't see until now. Where's the no? I don't even know. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I found it. Omida NFT. Let's go. I'm trying to make myself on the Discord a little bit, you know. So if in case you missed the OTC event, David had said Danny B contacted David and company to acquire a large number of collectibles and comics held back by VeVe. Unprecedented event, and company determined a fair price for them. But because the total amount was too large to be loaded by bank or credit card, they did the things off app. Working on a better, more transparent way to broker sales going forward. No sub 40 mints were involved. Communication could have been better and will improve. I think they addressed that fairly well. Be advised, not the first time we had some kind of a deal like this. I was supposed to have a deal with David and Dan. Like, this is early 2021, where I was going to buy, like, in order to not move the price, I was going to buy $100,000 worth of their OMI, like from their own personal thing or from the dev wallet, whatever it was. The deal wound up not going through because they started really making a whole bunch of money. Things were popping off. But yeah, like they do things. They have done, or they have attempted to do things like that before. Why did they not at? Why might not they do that in the future? Because they had a little bit of a backlash at this time. They had a little bit of a. So I feel like if they do something like this, they'll announce it. But you know, it, like me and my collectibles said, if you have a, this happens in high-end collectibles. If you have enough money, message the team, chat them out on Twitter, try to do whatever, and just say like, hey, I have $250,000, I'm looking to spend it. What can you do for me? And see where it goes. So I'm saying good update for you, Randy. I don't even where am I over here? All right, let's go. I do very lucky. Good update, Randy. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Thought it was great. Yes, that is my thing. Okay. Excited for Omida NFT. Care more about getting utility first and then exchanges afterwards. Not sure how the MCP and OUP combining. I think it's going to be very hard as well. In their Discord, they say again, how can they afford it? And two, they said last time it would be here already, and it's not. So somebody said Veveverse coming in April, and then someone responded, how can they afford it? I think they've been working on it for a long time. They've said that last time it would be here already, and it's not. Again, do I think we actually get it after it rolls out mid-April? No. Late May, early June. You know, you got to add a little while for them. Yeah, they made bank. Not wrong about them saying that. Yep. Okay. All right. Moving on. Where was I? News Now says when Nastascia NFTs come out, they moon and sell them back. Pepe says Danny doesn't have a black Amex. I guess not. Again, that particular account, Danny Boy LIC, it's not just him. He represents a bunch of different whales. So it wasn't just him that made the deal. It was a lot of people. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for me. Thank you so much for the super chats. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.